What is up, it's your boy JNW Boss in the building, and yes, this is the second Universe Mode review that I was requested to watch by the owners, by the people themselves. And by the way, just FYI, if you want me to review your Universe Mode, let me know what show, or leave me a link to what show or what episode of yours that you want me to review in the comment section down below. Keep in mind, it will be an unbiased review. So even though I enjoy this next show and I enjoy the first show, I did point out things that I've had my issues and concerns with. So, just so you know, it's not going to be a biased review. Just saying. And no, I do not care if you think I'm a horrible person for not doing that. Unbiased review. If you want an unbiased review, honest feedback, it's your chance with the Universe Mode review series. Leave your Universe Mode episode that you want to see reviewed, or if it's yours, in the comment section down below. So, with that being said, with all that out of the way, it's time to review NXTV first ever pay-per-view, NXTV Modern Day Classic. Let's get into it. Of course, we gotta start with that production. Alright, number one, production. Now, this is the thing that actually kind of got me into their show in the first place, but when it comes to the production of this show, I liked it. It was good. They didn't get overly complex with it. They didn't do it like, they didn't do some overly complex stuff. Like, they actually did some pretty unique things. Like, every now and again, like before a match or whatever, they would have, I remember before this one match, they had a video package seeing, and we can kind of see what happened, what led up to this match. They imported music, so they got their own, music popping, which is cool. They even do something which I kind of find very unique, that they have like commercials that like maybe they get like, they somehow got like a hold of like maybe some older commercials or whatever, and they put it on their show, which is dope. I actually really like that. It's something that's unique to me, and it works. And then they did something during the show that was really cool. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it happened before the tag title match. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Go watch it for yourself. It was very cool, and probably to me one of the highlights of the night, personally. One of the highlights of the show, personally. So it was the production. It was solid. It was great. Everything looked cool. It looked crisp, and plus they added some very unique things I personally like. So there you see your production score, and let's get to the commentary. Commentary. Now this is a two-person commentary team. I think it's Terry, and I can't remember the other guy's name. But those two are providing the commentary throughout the show. They did it. They did a very good job at commentary, because honestly, it was due to their commentary sometimes that I even got more hyped for whatever was going on at the time. They brought out more emotion, more energy. To me, they brought more energy to the match, brought more energy to the show. It was cool. I like their commentary. It was on point. They wasn't like, stuttering. They wasn't really mumbling. I could hear both of them clearly. Well, and there were more where I couldn't hear them as much. Like over the game audio, so kind of tweak that a tad bit. But that may just be me. But overall, their commentary was pretty good. I liked it, especially the fact that I give them credit, and the fact that they're a two-man team, but they can still make it sound crisp, and they sound like they got a whole lot of chemistry together, because I guess they've been doing this for a while. Either that or they're good friends, whatever the case may be. Commentary was good throughout the show. Kept me interested. I liked it. Let's move on. I'm having a lot of positive things to say, because I personally really enjoyed it. But let's move on to number 3. Alright, structure. This one was interesting. This one was kind of interesting. They started it off nice with a pretty good match for the All-American Championship, and then they had I think they had the tag team title match second, and they kept their main match. They kept their two heavily promoted matches towards the end of the show, which is fine. But I think the two promoted matches that they did went back to back. They were back to back. And so I want to say you could have moved maybe one of them, not your world title match, keep that where it is, but maybe you could have moved one of them maybe to this set, maybe to this, to the center of this show, because I think they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to say they had like, I can't remember the number of matches that they had, but I think maybe you could have one of your promoted matches that wasn't your world championship match, maybe somewhere towards the a little bit past the middle of the card, then maybe have one other match that kind of served as your filler match to calm the crowd down, and then straight to the main event. But that's just my personal preference. But I think what they did, even with their 2 promoted matches being back to back, I think it kind of worked without the rest of the show. They kind of did a good job. They had their women feature in a pretty high spot on the show. In fact, there were 2 women's matches. There was a triple threat match, and then there was a tag team match. But I'll get to the matches and stuff in a minute. But the structure wasn't bad either. I mean, they were pretty good. They were pretty on point. Everything kind of flowed into another smoothly. You kind of get the tension, the overall. It kind of ramps up your excitement, going to the rest of the show when you start doing the countdown of, okay, they did this match. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this match coming up next, and blah blah blah. So overall, the structure was good. I have my own personal preferences, but that's just me. You did a good job on production. Enjoyment. I really don't have much to say here because it's obvious that I really enjoyed this show. I don't think anything really retracted from I don't think there was anything that really retracted any much enjoyment out of the show. I don't think there was anything that really brought that down. The commercials were kind of cool. They kind of served as like a little as a way for the audience to like kind of take a breather. Which is cool. So the commercials kind of served as like a way for the audience to take a breather, which is nice. It's appreciated. But then again, I think when it comes to structure, I think this is kind of where the commercial could have came in handy, because you could have had one of your feature matches earlier, like maybe a little bit earlier on the show, not like in the beginning, but I'm talking about like maybe when you're starting to either get into the second half or whenever you're, I don't know, you could have maybe one of your feature matches maybe a little bit earlier, maybe like towards that second half of the show, maybe in the middle, maybe right in the middle of the card, and then maybe did a commercial, then came back with maybe 1 or 2 matches, commercial, and then main event. That's just me. But again, that's just my personal preference. Overall, the enjoyment was good. I didn't really lose, interest in the show. Matches, for the most part, kept me engaged. I have a few things that kind of a head scratcher, a couple of things that kind of was to me, but I'll get to that when I talk about matches. But overall enjoyment, it was positive. I liked it. I liked it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now let's talk about the matches. Another case of a lot of the matches on the show being quite good. Like I said, they kicked it off, and I'm trying not to spoil the show. Anyways, they kicked it off with a pretty good match for the All-American Championship, which I'm guessing is their version of the U.S. title. And then they did something really interesting with their tag team championships. I'm definitely not going to spoil that because that was insanely good. The match that tag match itself was okay. It was okay. It wasn't perfect, but it was all right, and I could see there's a storyline building up there. I think some of my only real kind of gripes I have with the show was that there was one match. I think it was I'm gonna go and say it was Ricky Insegura versus Ricochet, and that match was a little bit too short. It was a little bit too short, but I talked with the guy who told me that was kind of serving as a buffer match. But I think, to me, in general, that match was a little bit too short. And then the women's tag title match, the length that it went, kind of just to end in a draw was kind of underwhelming, personally. The length that it went just to end in a draw was kind of underwhelming, but they kind of capitalized off of the fact that it ended in a draw to build. They're kind of building up a storyline here, so, and they did that on this show. Like later on, after that match, they had a segment on the show, kind of somebody addressing that. So I can see the storyline building there, but I think the length that it did just to end in a draw was kind of disappointing. However, something that was not disappointing, their co-main event, and their main event was turned into a last man standing match for the World Championship. Those two matches, especially one of them being heavily promoted, the co-main event being heavily promoted, was great. That match was absolutely great. And then the main event really came in and did a nice job at putting the cap on what was otherwise a pretty, was already doing a good job, and came in and put the cap on what was a great show. It was a great show. And they did a really, all the matches were pretty solid. Like I said, I had my few gripes here and there. And then I think, also one last thing, they did a triple threat match. It was, well, good. It was pretty chaotic, like to the point where it kind of looked like a mess a little bit, but it was fine. It was fine. The match itself was fine. Chaotic, but they were able to make it work. Co-main event was great. Main event was really good. Single match was great. A couple of gripes here and there, like I said, with some of the matches. The draw, and it was the draw, and then one match being a bit too short, like strikingly too short. So, but other than that, all the matches I felt were pretty well done. Pretty well done. So good job on the matches. They getting a good score, homie, for real. That gets you my overall thoughts of the show. Yes, you see the rating, a good and solid 8 out of 10. They did a very good job with this show. Production-wise, match-wise, commentary, I really can't think of a bad thing to say about this show. It was very well done. Like I said, I personally had a couple of gripes and things I would have did a little bit differently, but they did what they did. Was it a modern day classic, at least for their show as of this point? I would say yes. I like the show. Please go check them out. And I'm honestly surprised they don't have more subscribers. Good grief, for a small channel. And I guess these guys, to me, are the perfect example of a small channel that is real, that really shouldn't be a small channel. That's my thing. Their show, I've seen several of their episodes, especially leading up to Modern Day Classic, and I'll say their show, I'm surprised they have the subscribers that they do. I am really surprised that they have the subscriber count that they do. They should definitely have more. But when it comes to the show, it was good. It was good. It was great. That is not a bad way to start off doing pay-per-view. That's not a bad way of doing that at all. Like I said, a couple of things. If you're going to show the match card at any point, have it just show it from the exhibition screen and not the universe mode screen, because we can see the controllers and things like that. Commercials were kind of cool. Some of them, again, I already addressed my issue with some of the matches. Didn't really have an issue with commentary. Yeah, I can't think of a lot bad to say about the show. So good job. 8 out of 10. You deserve it. Keep up the good work. So, with that being said, that's it for this review. I'll leave a link in the description. Go check it out. XTV World, Modern Day Classic, and they actually uploaded a episode today, which I'm actually in the middle of watching. So, go check them out. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to them. And anyways, that's it for this review. If you want your universe mode to be reviewed, submit it in the comment section down below. Give me a specific episode or whatever that you want me to review. And if you can, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos and streams on this and XTV World's channel. Spread the word. Spread the word about their channel and this one. Till the next time I see you guys, be a boss. And I will holla at you guys later.